What if your dog has been asking for help and you thought they were just being weird? Because some dogs do not bark, cry, or make a scene. They go quiet. And that is exactly why so many owners miss the signs. In this video, I will show you 8 quiet ways dogs ask for help, what each one really means, and how to tell the difference between a small mood change and something you should never ignore. For example, if your dog suddenly freezes on walks, starts licking one paw over and over, or follows you everywhere when they normally do not, that is not random. That behaviour is often communication, and by the end of this video you will never look at those little changes the same way again. Number 1. They suddenly get extra clingy. Have you ever had your dog start following you from room to room for no clear reason? Maybe they sit outside the bathroom. Maybe they press against your legs. Maybe they seem unable to relax unless they know exactly where you are. A lot of owners think, "Oh, my dog is just being sweet." Sometimes that is true, but sometimes clinginess is your dog's quiet way of saying, "I do not feel safe right now." That can come from stress, confusion, physical discomfort, or a big change they do not know how to handle. Dogs often move closer when something feels off. You become their safe place. And here is the part most people miss. If your dog is not normally clingy but suddenly becomes glued to you, that shift matters more than the behaviour itself. The real question is not, "Is my dog close to me?" It is, "Why did this suddenly change?" Number 2. They stop enjoying things they usually love. This one is easy to miss because it looks so small. Your dog still eats, they still go outside, they still seem mostly fine, but something is different. They do not run to the leash anymore. They do not greet you with the same excitement. They lose interest in toys they used to love. This is one of the clearest quiet signs that a dog may be struggling. When dogs pull back from joy, they are often dealing with emotional stress, low energy, fear, or discomfort in their body. Imagine a dog who used to light up at the word walk and now just looks at you. That is not laziness. That is information. A dog does not need to collapse dramatically for something to be wrong. Sometimes the biggest warning sign is simply less spark. Number 3. They lick one spot over and over. If your dog keeps licking their paw, leg, side, or lips, do not assume it is just a habit. Repetitive licking is one of the most common ways dogs self-soothe. It can happen when they are anxious. It can happen when they feel overwhelmed. And sometimes it can mean physical pain or irritation. Because to us, licking looks small. To a dog, it can be their coping tool. A dog who cannot say something feels wrong often does something repetitive instead. Picture this. You're watching TV, and your dog is curled up nearby, quietly licking the same paw again and again. No barking, no chaos, just one repeated action. That quiet repetition may be their way of regulating stress, or pointing to something painful. Sometimes the most serious signs are not dramatic at all. They are the little things you almost ignore. And number 5 is where this gets a lot more serious. Number 4. They freeze during normal situations. A lot of people only worry when a dog reacts loudly. But freezing can be even more important. Your dog stops walking, stops moving, stops responding. Maybe it happens near strangers, maybe near another dog, maybe in a place they used to handle just fine. That freeze is not stubbornness. It is often emotional overload. When a dog freezes, their nervous system may be saying, "I cannot process this safely right now." It is a survival response. And this is where owners accidentally make it worse. They pull the leash, use a harsher voice, or force the dog forward. But if your dog is frozen, they are not being difficult. They may be scared, overwhelmed, or deeply unsure. A dog that goes still is not always calm. Sometimes stillness is panic with no movement. Number 5. They start hiding or choosing unusual places. If your dog suddenly starts spending more time under the bed, behind furniture, in closets, or alone in another room, pay attention. Dogs often hide when they do not feel right. That can mean fear, that can mean overwhelm, and yes, it can also mean pain. This is one of the hardest signs emotionally because a lot of owners take it personally. They think, "Did I do something wrong?" Or, "Why is my dog avoiding me?" But many dogs hide not because they trust you less, but because they are trying to protect themselves while they feel vulnerable. In the wild, weakness is risky. That instinct does not fully disappear. So when a dog goes quiet and starts disappearing, that behaviour can carry real weight, especially if they used to love being near the family. Number 6. They become grumpy out of nowhere. Your dog suddenly growls when touched, pulls away when you reach for them, snaps during grooming, gets irritated when someone comes too close. and people say, "Wow, my dog is getting attitude." But dogs do not become difficult for no reason. Very often, sudden irritability is a warning sign. It can mean pain. It can mean fear. It can mean your dog has been tolerating discomfort quietly, and now they cannot hide it anymore. Think about it from their side. If touching their shoulder hurts, if being picked up scares them, if they already feel overwhelmed, then even gentle contact can feel like too much. A sweet dog becoming reactive is not a personality flaw. It may be a message that says, "Please do not make this harder for me." If you are seeing even 2 or 3 of these signs together, this is not something to brush off, because quiet signals often stack up before dogs show bigger behaviour changes, and the next 2 signs are especially easy to confuse with normal dog behaviour. Number 7. They yawn, shake off, or look away at odd times. This one surprises a lot of people. Yawning is not always about being tired. Shaking off is not always about being wet. Looking away is not always random. Dogs use these behaviours to release tension. So if your dog yawns during petting, after being approached, during training, or in a tense room, they may be trying to calm themselves down. The same goes for sudden shake-offs when nothing physical happened. It can be your dog's way of saying, "That moment felt uncomfortable." These are tiny signals, but tiny signals are often the most honest ones. Because dogs use them before things escalate. Someone leans over your dog turns their head away and gives a big yawn. Most people laugh and say, "He's sleepy." Maybe. But maybe your dog is politely saying, "I do not love this." Number 8. They sleep more, move slower, or seem emotionally flat. This last one can break your heart because it often happens slowly. Your dog rests more, gets up more slowly, seems less present, less curious, less like themselves. No big event, no obvious crisis, just a soft fading. And because it happens gradually, people adjust to it. They say, "Maybe my dog is just tired. Maybe they're calming down. Maybe it's nothing." But when a dog becomes emotionally flat, especially if it is a sudden or noticeable change that can be one of the clearest cries for help, it may be stress, it may be pain, it may be something internal you cannot see, and that is the hardest part of loving a dog. They keep trying to act normal, even when they do not feel normal. Here is the truth most people never hear. Dogs rarely ask for help in ways humans expect. They do not sit you down. They do not explain their feelings. They do not say something is wrong. They change. A little less excitement, a little more distance, a repeated lick, a freeze, a yawn, a quiet look. And if you know how to see those changes, you can catch pain, fear, stress, and emotional struggle before it gets worse. That is what real dog understanding looks like. Not controlling behaviour, not punishing the symptom, but noticing the whisper before it becomes a crisis. Sometimes your dog is not being dramatic. They are being brave. They are doing their best to stay close. Stay calm and stay normal, while quietly hoping you will notice. And when you do notice, everything changes. Because to your dog, being understood might be the first real help they get. So the next time your dog does something small, strange, or suddenly different, pause before you dismiss it. That quiet moment may be your dog saying the one thing they cannot say out loud: "I need you."